Good morning for me, and good afternoon or evening. I don't really know when you'll be watching this, to be honest, to you. So, yesterday was my first day of the Commission on the Status of Women here in New York, and it was wet and freezing all day. It didn't snow, but it didn't put us off. We had a packed schedule of meetings. I was running around, going to all kinds of different government events and NGO events, trying to sneak in some lunch, trying to do some other work as well. So I just wanted to share with you my highlights from day one. This, by the way, is my new Bible. This is my I'm writing all of my notes. So highlight number one is actually cheesily being at the UN, being inside the UN building, having that access, having that ability to be in that space where obviously so many leaders, decision makers and decisions have been taken. The importance of the building is just something that really resonates with me, and I think as a kind of representative of an NGO, a member of civil society, especially at the CSW, we were reminded that it was very important that we were around, but we're also kind of there at the invitation of governments, and a lot of conferences they wouldn't allow this kind of close relationship between governments and civil society. So I actually have just been really grateful and excited to be at the UN and in the UN building. My second highlight was heard so much about Vaughan, who is one of our he's an executive director of one of our country programs in Malawi, and he runs an organisation called UNECO, and you can look it up on our website. He's one of the speakers at our side event, and he's come all the way over again from Malawi to join us, and he's going to speak at our side event on Thursday. I went to an event, it was called Violence Against Women and Girls, Parliamentarians Speak Out. It was just really amazing. It was kind of all these incredible women who are female parliamentarians who just are so committed. They were so committed, and it was so evident. They were angry, the way that they spoke, they were really fired up. And I listened to an MEP from the Northwest, Julie Ward, who Julie, if you're watching, I've never come across you before, but I was really taken by her passion and by kind of her desire for governments to kind of ratify legislation and to really push forward on women and girls issues. And she kind of spoke very much from the heart and said she was inspired to become an MEP just for one reason, one, abuse of women and girls' rights, which was the situation that happened in Delhi a few years ago now, and she just like a switch went for her, and she was like, right, I need to get involved, and she started speaking out. And I just think sometimes as a woman myself, I feel like, why should I be speaking out? But she was just like, no, this is it, this is my issue, and I'm going to move forward. And now she's an MEP, she's a member of the European Parliament, so I was just really struck by her. And then the other thing that happened in that meeting was that I learned for the first time. There's so many things that you just don't know, that exist, that you hear about at this conference, which is the Women in Parliament Network, which an Australian ex-MP mentioned that she kind of founded, and she was running, and it's kind of a network just for women in Parliament to come together and share their experiences and talk about how what it's like being a woman in Parliament, when obviously in the UK it's only around 20% of female parliamentarians throughout Parliament, and it's just those statistics are all around the world. It's just not fair representation. So it's daunting, I guess, but it's also empowering to be able to be there and stand up to that network, just to learn about that and know something like that existed. I don't know, I just felt really reassured, and also really amazed by the solidarity of women and their ability to stand up and be together. And then finally, my final highlight of the day was I went to an event which is kind of on the eve of the announcement, or the first meeting of the Women's Economic High-Level Panel, and Women's Economic Empowerment it's called, and that was with Plan International, and Justin Greening, Secretary of State for International Development in the UK, was there, and I actually got to meet her, and it was such a pleasure. She took a photo with me, you'll see it on Facebook, and I was able after the event to speak to her about women's economic empowerment and about some of the concerns that Progressio have around business and human rights, and kind of ensuring that all of our kind of business and human rights legislation and things that we're implementing are gender sensitive and aware of the impact of big business on women and girls' rights. So I kind of did my little lobbying piece to her as well, which is fantastic, and it was really, really well received. And she seemed really happy to speak to me. So Justine, again, I'm sure you're not watching, but if you are, thank you very much for your time and for taking the time to speak to me. So they were my key highlights. I think it just shows the breadth of what I've been up to just on one day. And today is set to be another. It's jam-packed. I can see my schedule over there, and it's literally wall-to-wall meetings. But it's just having those advocacy opportunities, like being able to engage with the Secretary of State, who is, such a powerful actor in this space, and just meet her and build that relationship with her. I think just shows you how valuable a space like the Commission on the Status of Women can be. So I hope you enjoyed my highlights. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some myth busting, so do stay tuned if you can, and I hope you're all having a great time wherever you are. Thank you.